Right, good evening ladies and gents. For those who don't know me, my name's Dale. A couple of days ago I got chosen as one of the regional organisers, so I'm covering East Yorkshire, West Yorkshire and the Humber, so I look forward to meeting you all at some stage. Reason for the live feed, I put a post up about 3-4 days ago now about surface fishing, how people went about it. I was reading through the posts and there was a lot of good comments, mainly being about they use biscuit, basically dog biscuits. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to teach you to suck eggs or anything like that, because a lot of people on this site will be more experienced than I am. I'm very passionate about fishing, and I'm even more so passionate about surface fishing. If I had the choice, I would surface fish all year, if obviously if it was warm enough. So today I'm just going to do a short feed. It's only going to be a short one because I don't want to take the limelight away from Darren and Albie, who got chosen as their ROs for that area where they live. So many congratulations to them. So I'm just going to talk about how I go about sort of prepping my bait, and I'll just show you a few floats at the end, and talk about hook links and stuff as well. But my local joint is Ladywood Small Lake in Murfield, West Yorkshire. During the summer, if you want to surface fish, that is the place to go. Last year, out of 4 sessions that I had there, I ended up with just roughly over 86 fish in 4 sessions, which I was absolutely buzzing about. Surface fishing can be as expensive or as cheap as you want it to be. I've seen all these posts on Facebook from the top companies saying, oh, if you mix this and mix that from ours and you'll catch fish. I'm the sort of person, I want to do it as cheap as I can. So I've got short arms and long pockets, so I do it as cheap as I can. So I'm just going to talk you through what I use, how I mix it up, and so on, basically. About this time of the year, I usually start getting my bait ready for sort of April, May time, for when it warms up. So what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to talk you through what I use. So basically, Morrisons dog mixer biscuits, 4 kilogram bag, £1.77. In my eyes, you can't go wrong. It's absolutely amazing stuff. Well, I think it is anyhow, because I always catch on it. The next thing that I do is I've got pure natural liver powder. I know, yeah, you can see sticky on there, but I was in Bobco at the time, and I thought, oh, I'll get some. But someone said to me last night, oh, why don't you go to a pet shop, which I've never ever thought about. So I'll be saving a few pounds there when I go and get some more. Next thing, groundnut oil. Purely a little bit of flavour, and if you've got a rough lake on a windy day, this will absolutely flatten it. It will look so smooth, you'll think you're not fishing on a lake. So it's groundnut oil from Tesco. It's about £1.90 a bottle. It's 500 millilitres, and that will last, I would say, about 2-3 buckets worth. So right, what I'll do now, I'll just go through what I've got. Just bear with us, just whilst I'll spin you around. And it looks like I can't spin you around, so what I'll do is I'll spin you around that way. Right, all I've got in there, I've put a bucket in already of the dog mixers, and I've got some riser pellets in there. I don't know if it works. It's just an extra attractant, really, once them fish start feeding. So all we do is we get the natural groundnut oil, and then just tip, I would say, about a third of a bottle in. So just tip that in, and then get your liver powder, good sprinkling, and then just mix it up. So just bear with us. I'll spin you around that way. Excuse the state of the kitchen. I've just got in from work, and so I've got all the jobs to do before the wife comes home. So basically, just mix it up, and that's basically it. Let it all soak in. Someone asked me last night, does it go off? No, it doesn't. I've had mixers on soak 6-7 months at a time, and I've never ever had a problem with it. When I'm out on the bank, it doesn't get a chance to go off anyhow, because in a 24-hour session I can easily go through 24 kilograms of dog mixers, because Ladywood Lakes is a lake where once they're on the feed, and you've got to keep them at the surface. So every 30 seconds, minute, I'm putting more freebies in, just to keep them on the surface. Since I've joined Pallatrax, I've started to doubt what I'm doing is right, because I've seen what's on the market, and I know in my own mind that what I do works. I'm always looking on improving it, making it better. I'm never happy with what I've got. I always want to improve it. So joined Pallatrax just before Christmas, and I've got my eye on the natural range, the Daphnia and the Waterfly powders. I think that is going to be an absolutely phenomenal edge on surface fishing. Just extra flavours, especially with the Daphnia and Waterfly. I'm not going to go away from what I use. I'm going to keep on plodding away with that, but as I say, I'm going to add the Daphnia and the Waterfly to it, because that is going to be a brilliant edge. The last session that I did in July last year, surface fishing, was at Ladywood Small. It was a 24-hour session. Got to the lake about 9 o'clock, had a burger at Mrs. T's with Gus and Simone, the bailiff and his wife who runs Mrs. T's. Had a coffee, got into the lake about 10 o'clock, set up, had my surface rod straight in the water, because I could see them on the surface. So I set up. Within about a minute, I hadn't even put any bait in, and I'd got one on the bank. I spent from 10 o'clock that morning until 1:30 following morning surface fishing. I had one on the surface, one on a 12-foot zig in 29 foot of water, and I had one in the margin, as I always do when I fish. 1:30 in the morning, they were still taking, so I thought, right, enough's enough. I'm absolutely shattered, so I got some shut-eye. Luckily my alarm didn't go off for the one in the margin that I left in overnight. I woke up 4 o'clock, and then I was back on the surface fishing until 10 o'clock. 36 fish in 24 hours. I was really chuffed, really chuffed. Very, very tired, because I missed 2 turn-ins on the way home, so I had to go the long way round. But I thought it was an amazing experience. In my eyes, there's nothing better than seeing that line tighten up when there's a fish on it. A lot of people, they say, "Oh, you're not going to hook into it. You're not going to like lift your rod or what? I said no. I use quarter size 10s with some of the mixers on them, and then just the bait. Right, I bought some jungle and some crave squabs, basically. Just little squabs, exactly the same as pop-ups, but squashed down. The jungle ones, I think, they're going to be a good edge on the fishing as well, because I usually use AS1 pop-ups when I'm surface fishing, and I'll just trim the edges off. But with these, they smell amazing, they look amazing. I think what I would do is just trim them down just slightly, just so they're the same size as the mixers that I'm feeding in as freebies. So I think, yeah, it's all good to go. As I say, Pallatrax, it's got some brilliant products in there. Your powders, your naturals, your baits, the Gripz hooks. That's another thing I'm going to try when I'm on the surface. Just a size 10 Gripz on there. Just going through the floats now. Fox bolt bubble. I've got 3 of these in my tackle box. Very rarely use them. They are good. You fill them up with water, and obviously they float on the top. What I do use, the Corda surface floats. Obviously the small, medium, and large. Large one very rarely used because I'm not really fishing surface fishing at distance. My favourite is the middle one. You don't have to do anything. You can put your rod on your rest, put it on your alarm, sit back and wait. The hook, or the fish hooks itself, and basically what I said earlier. There's no better sight than the line tightening up when you're actually fishing. So I hope that has given you an insight into sort of how I go about things. As I said before, I'm not teaching you to suck eggs. The reason for this live feed was just purely and simply just to show you how I do things. In my eyes, it is proven, because 86 fish in 4 sessions last year. I don't think anyone's ever done that on Ladywood Small. They do catch fair few fish, but I think I must be near the top for catching fish in 1 session.